obubaka buno bugende eri abaana ba nkuba kyeyo bannayuganda mwenna abawangalira mu ggwanga lya Saudi Arabia. Oluvannyuma lwa Ministry ya Gender okuvaayo okuyisa ebirango oba ebbaluwa eraga nti basuspendinze endagaano y'obukozi oba okukolera Saudi Arabia, abantu bangi bavuddeyo ne bafuna okweraliikirira naddala baganda baffe bali mu kiwayi ekyobukozi oba abakozi, kubanga ebbaluwa teyabalaga teyabanotisinga. Ebbaluwa yalaga nti yawandiikira ba training center n'aba company. Ako nno kabonero akalagira ddala, njagala gwe nkuba kyeyampuliriza owulirize, ako kabonero akalagira ddala nti mwe bankuba kyeyo temuli bantu, muli subject, muli ng'ente ezirina omulaalo. Asalawo nti leero ajja zitwala zirye oba zijja sigala mu kisibo ye nga bw'aba ayagadde, nga temulina bwogerero. Kabonero akalaga nti mwe muli ku lwammwe. Njagala okuwa clarification, obubaka buno bubeere nga bukiriyalinga eri ago amaloboozi agabadde gatambula eri bannammwe ba bloggers abamu n'abakulu abamu abali mu maguruupu ababadde bagenda nga bayisa ebirango wakati mu kutiisatiisa nga babatiisa nga Saudi bweggaddewo, abali mu contract ne mutandika okupanikinga, ababadde Uganda nga mwagala okutambula ne mutandika okutya. I want to send this message to you clearly and lastly. As Migrant Workers' Voice, we want to inform you that the pronouncement by the Ministry of Gender should not threaten you. The pronouncement to suspend labor export to Saudi Arabia should not be a threat to you. You should not be intimidated by the very ministry and other sector players behind the move. Temulina kutya oba okutiisibwatiisibwa ku lw'ekyo kye bayise suspension. Our stand as migrant workers is that we shall continue going abroad for work for as long as Uganda government has not provided us enough employment home, better employment, and well-paying. We shall continue leaving the country for better pasture because we cannot afford staying home jobless, or we cannot afford staying home underpaid without a minimum wage. We shall continue moving to these countries. Therefore, njagala okutuusa obubaka buno eri bannaffe abo abawulira oluzungu n'abataluwulira bankuba kyeyo nti temulina kutiisibwatiisibwa oba baggalawo baggalewo. There was no reason in explanation of this irrational suspension from the Ministry of Gender. In our explanation to you as migrant workers, there was no reason for such a quick decision to be taken by the Ministry of Gender. Waali tewali nsonga era waabadde tewali nsonga naddala ng'endagaano ya Uganda ne Saudi Arabia emanyikiddwa nti eddizibwa obujja oluvannyuma lw'emyaka 5, eddizibwa obujja automatically nesigala ng'etambula. Ku lwaki eri automatic? Kubanga wabaayo ababeera baakatambula n'olunaku lwennyini endagaano lweggwako wabaawo abatambula. N'olwekyo there is a possibility nti wasigalayo business oba wasigala wakyaliwo business etambula, okugeza nga okumonitalinga abo ababa baliyo already abamazeeko abanaatera okumalako contract okusigala nga balina ozimalako oba okusigala nga bakola, n'abo ababa baakagenda okuba nga balina osigala mu buwaayiro bwe bumu okutambuza contract zaabwe, era n'abo abateekeddwa okugenda abakyali e Uganda nga babadde mu system y'emu okusigala nga balina okutambula. Nabwe kityo article 10 mu ndagaano ba bilateral labor agreement ewa enkizo oba neewa allowance ya nnaku 6 oluvannyuma lwa agreement eyo ng'eweddeko, oba nga endagaano y'emyaka 5 ng'eweddeko, ennaku 6 gy'emyezi 2 government zombi eya Uganda ne Saudi Arabia okutunulamu ebyo bye baagala amendinga oba okukyusa so si kususpendinga. Akawaayira ko kususpendinga kubanga kwe kubasasi mu kigere. Ministry ya gender yavuddeyo naye kubasasi mu kigere era ekyo twashigaaniddewo nga lumu. Kulokubanga twali twagisaba dda okususpendinga nga tubonaabona mu myaka 5 egiyise. Bwebanga ministry ya gender teyali ntiitiizi, tetulabawo nsonga yonna whatsoever ewa ministry ya gender kwekangabaza ku last moment nga wasigadde ennaku 4 endagaano eno eggweko ate yeekole kye bayita suspension. Suspension kitegeeza ki? Ojjewo enkolagana n'olwekyo oba olese banno abali mu nsi eri okusigala nga bali ku lwabwe. Eyo pronouncement bagikoze nenjagala okubategeeza whatever the case, oba bagikoze oba tebagikoze mu bugenderevu nga bamaze ne beetonda. I want to tell you as migrant workers tusigala tugamba nti tujja kugenda ebweru, and all we call for is our welfare. What we call for is our rights protection. What we call for is our salary to be increased. Twagala omusaala gwaffe gwongezebwe. What we call for is we being included in the decision making. If Ministry of Gender is trying to appertain and dodge around that, and they do not want to involve workers, ngera bwe bakoze ekiwandiiko kya speed wakati mu kwebuzaabuza mu kukwekereza ne bawandiikira aba company ne bawandiikira ne training centers nga tebaagala kubuulira ffe bankuba kyeyo, ne tusigala nga twebuuza kakati ekiwandiiko kye bawandiise kyabadde kiimpactinga baani? Bwe babanga ddala bamanyi batwala abantu tebatwala nte Saudi Arabia, lwaki ba migrant workers tebaba notisinze over that? Bwe babanga ddala ekikolwa kino kye bakola eky'okututwalanga ebweru nga batuyisa mu makampani ne training centers ddala tekitegeeza kukusa, lwaki ate bankuba kye yaba ali possible bali prone kukusibwa, lwaki tutegeezebwa ku process eyo oba na kiki ekiba kigenda okubaawo olwo tusobole obutagwa mu mikono gy'abo bakukusa? Tutegeera tutya ebigenda mu maaso nga tetuli noticed officially. Njagala mwenna abali eyo bankuba kyeyo obubaka buno bube final gye muli. Our stand is we are not ready to tolerate Ministry of Gender's actions or irrational decisions without we ourselves being party as migrant workers. We shall therefore send this message to Ministry of Gender as well, as they refused to inform migrant workers. Everyone is now wondering, is on social media wondering what next. It is only the news channels that are informing us, and they are informing us what was regurgitated to them. Therefore, we as migrant workers, we were not informed. But as a concerned voice, the migrant workers' voice, we are here to inform you today that do not get in panic. Do not be intimidated by Ministry of Gender. We understand their intention for passing such a threat is to cowardice you, is to make you run to their mercy. That when they pass out a ruling on a suspension, they will cause you into a panic. Bajja kuleetera bannaffe abamu abatategeera bigenda mu maaso okutandika okuvaayo ku mikutu okwegayirira, bannaye mutuggulirewo, bannaye ffe twagala bannaye temutusibirawo Saudi Arabia, bannaye ffe tuli banako tetulina mirimo. The fact is that emirimo tegiriiwo. Ate it is the Ministry of Gender yeyina okuteekawo emiwaatwa oba okwadvisinga government okulaba nti batuteerawo emirimu mu ggwanga. Ebbanga lye bamala nga balemereddwa nga nabo baasaba ba resorting ekulya wa neighbor. Ekituufu kiri nti it is a win-win situation. Let them close and we see how they will benefit also. Let them close and we see how they won't spend more in controlling human trafficking, because we are not going to settle home. We are not going to sit down home. Tetugenda kutuula buno obubaka bugende eri abaana bankuba kyeyo mwenna temutiisibwa Ministry ya Gender mbwe gaddewo kale eggalewo tulaba yo tefiirwa nga gavumenti ku misolo gyefuna. Eggalewo if it will stand the outcries that will come after that. Tulina bingi betuze tugisaba naye olwokuba tugisaba n'ebidooji nga netayagala bituwa eyagala okucreatinga panic mutandika okubanga mwe muleeta pressure ereetera mukatuzeemu tugguddewo kubanga abaana basabye nnyo tubagulirewo therefore tetujja kuddayo kurevisinga yadde okutunulamu byonna ebyabadde byetaagisa kubanga ekituufu kiri nti abaana baagala nnyo ogenda okukola they always play that game. You must be watchful. Tebababuzaabuza. Let you not be confused or diverted by Ministry of Gender with its reckless suspensions. The suspension was not fit. It was not right. And it was not timely. Therefore, they do not actually qualify. They do not qualify to be the ones to negotiate even for the next agreement. Otherwise, we shall halt the proceedings. And this should be whispered to them. If at all they do not include us, we are sounding a warning to Ministry of Gender. If they do not want to listen to our outcries, okubonaabona kw'abannaffe abali Saudi Arabia abasasula obusente obw'olukyolo kyokka nga batundibwayo eggwanga lino. Tebagenda tuyingiza mu nkaayana zaabwe na embassy because they are fighting for $30. That's why they rush into all this, wanting to cover up, only focusing at their benefit, worrying not about our welfare, worrying not about migrant workers' rights, worrying not about the dead bodies that are being repatriated from Saudi Arabia every day. Let this concern you, migrant workers, and your parents. We shall not be intimidated by the suspension. Let you suspend. Hello, suspend. You can even suspend permanently, and we see if we shall remain home jobless. Who loses? Who to suffer the pressure? Who to be questioned more? Let this message now go to all migrant workers. Let you not be intimidated, and let you not be incited. We have to keep steadfast. We shall compel government to always do its responsibility. If they choose to hand this business to capitalists, the capitalists should be given where they must stop. Government should remember that the nationals are being exported out of this country in the hands of capitalists. What do they expect when we are being exported by capitalists who are only up to a business? They are only up to their profit. Who to care about these nationals afterwards, and who to bargain for them if government is not responsible, if government chooses to go in bed with these capitalists? Government chose to embrace capitalism, and therefore they must know there are some common people, omuntu w'owansi agenda okwongera okunyigirizibwa. Government should not pretend not to know this, that it is as a result of them embracing capitalism. And therefore, omuntu w'owansi nga bano abaana ababuyabuya, abaana abanaku abaggwera ku mawanga bakusigala nga banyigirizibwa mu mbeera bwetu. Who to give them a support? It is always government to come up and stand and give where the capitalists must stop, and then give protection to these workers. Therefore, we call upon government, if at all they fail to embrace the monitoring structure within their or arrangement. Fenga bankuba cheyo, we want to sound this to government, that we are not going to settle for less. You may come out and threaten us that you will close, and we see if you won't also lose. Close, and we see how your companies will survive. Suspend, and we see how you will contain the pressure. When we are talking as workers, sometimes you don't listen. But we are your bosses. Without we accepting to be subdued, working selflessly to support you, how will you survive? Today, the companies cannot survive without our obedience. They all survive on our obedience. You also survive on our tolerance as Ministry of Gender. When we tolerate you, we are not fools. Therefore, we want to warn you as your bosses in the Ministry of Gender. Stop threatening us. What we need is our welfare. We need to be included. We need insurance for our lives. Because we very well know you've chosen to deploy us in almost a war zone, in a danger zone, which you know that you cannot fully protect us. You have chosen, first of all, to cross us to that boundary, to that country where you know the country does not agree with human rights. It does not agree, and therefore you absent yourself there. You choose to absent yourself in that country. Let this message go to all migrant workers. From Migrant Workers Voice. Whoever is aggrieved about the message, look for us on our address 0700775501 or 0200191529. Let this message reach you and clarify to you. Don't be intimidated. Stay in your contract. Work. Continue working. And those who want to go abroad, please go through the companies. We don't want to begin worrying everyone in this country. If you've chosen to give away to migrant workers, to Ugandans, to use your companies to go abroad, let the companies be given a safe ground to operate, not to work through intimidations, not to put them in panic to begin trafficking us, because we know they cannot also stay jobless. They are also surviving on our adherence. They are surviving on our tolerance to go and work from Saudi Arabia. Therefore, they are surviving, and they cannot sit a day without deploying us. We don't want you to put them in panic to begin trafficking us when you say you are suspending. All we are calling for is you amending the bilateral, is you revising the bilateral, including everyone. The next time you make a mistake as such, we shall not give you even a chance. Share the message.